Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Cycling Day YouTube channel. Today, we are taking a trip down memory lane here in 2021 and looking back on some of our predictions from our previous shows. Yes, if you've never watched one of our previous shows before, then you're certainly missing out. But our final segment in the shows includes our predictions for the top three of the race, including the classics and the Grand Tours, of which we'll be discussing today. As always, I'm here with Scott. And Scott, what do you think about our predictions? And do you remember any stinkers or any real shocks that really unfolded in 2021?
I'm still living high on my 2020 Tour of Flanders podium prediction. So, but I think nowhere near this year.
So let's get things kicked off with Strade Bianche, the new monument almost on white roads.
Nevertheless, Strade Bianche, and I'm going to say third place goes to Mathieu van der Poel of Alpecin Phoenix. I think second place is going to go to Wout van Aert of Jumbo-Visma. And first place will go to Julien Alaphilippe, the reigning world champion. He will strike out for glory at the Piazza del Lake and take his second Strade Bianche title.
I think Wout van Aert will continue his 100% record of finishing on the podium and finish third. And then second place, we're going to have the Curse of the Rainbow jersey strike again with Julien Alaphilippe. And then we're going to have the reverse of what we had in the 2019 season and have Jakob Fuglsang victorious at the top.
It's always Jakob Fuglsang.
We now know that Fuglsang didn't win, Scott.
I mean, fact, top 10.
But it's. Was he a key contender going into it? Probably not. But at the same time, Julien Alaphilippe also did not win. But you were correct on that one.
Yeah, it came second. So, Curse of the Rainbow jersey. Most crucially, epic race, and you got Mathieu van der Poel on the podium, just not the right step.
Yeah. Now in hindsight, with the absolutely obliterating attack up to the Piazza del Campo, it really makes us seem naive that we didn't pick Mathieu van der Poel. And also, we did not mention any Grand Tour contenders. Let's remind ourselves in that front group, the iconic Strade Bianche leading group, we had Pogacar and Bernal, of which Bernal came third in the end. So we maybe underestimated their chances a little bit there.
Right. Okay. So next we move on to Milan-San Remo. And here is what we said.
For me, third place is going to go to Julien Alaphilippe of the kind of quick step. I think second place is going to go to Wout van Aert. And I think the winner will be Mathieu van der Poel. It's the most obvious top three that there is.
Anyways, I'm going to be a bit different from you, Ewan. I'm going to say the winner of this year's Milan-San Remo is going to be an underdog, and that's going to be Magnus Cort Nielsen of Denmark. And then we're going to have Julien Alaphilippe finishing second, and then in third, Peter Sagan for some reason, and Mathieu van der Poel doesn't even get near the podium.
So Ewan, the first thing is you're a bit unlucky with these things. Mathieu van der Poel, of course, won Strade Bianche, as we said before, and didn't quite feature in this race. Wait, was he even in the race?
Yeah, he was in the race, but it was probably one of the more lackluster Van der Poel performances, even after coming out of a Strade Bianche form, and also 2 stage wins at Tirreno Adriatico the week before, looking very, very good, almost as the red hot favorite. But yeah, a bit of a whoopsie there. Went for probably the most predictable podium out there that many people were talking about. But Scott, I must say you kind of understood the race scenario, that it was probably going to not be one of the big guys who won. And you went for Magnus Cort, but instead it was Jasper Stuyven, who were very similar riders almost.
Well, top 62 second position. So not too far off. Only 1 minute and 38 seconds down on the winner. So not too bad.
Who is your top three of the 2021 podium? And of course, there will probably be a Frenchman, I gather.
You know, it's almost too easy and too obvious to say that I think Mathieu van der Poel is going to win, with Wout van Aert second and Julien Alaphilippe third. So for the sake of difference, I'm going to say it's going to end up with 2 riders solo up the road. And those 2 riders are going to be Yves Lampaert of the Koenig Quickstep and Stefan Kung of Groupama. The Koenig are going to completely isolate and make Mathieu van der Poel work for it. So he is going to finish in a sprint in third behind Yves Lampaert, who wins the Ronde van Vlaanderen in Flanders, and a second place for Stefan Kung, the Swiss champion.
So anyways, I'm going to be a bit different from last year. I think Wout van Aert will take this in front of Mads Pedersen, and then in third place we'll have Julien Philippe, and Mathieu van der Poel will come a cropper somewhere during the race.
you predicted the race, I would say, very well. You said that there was going to be 2 riders out in front and that they were going to try and isolate Mathieu van der Poel somehow. Okay, Mathieu van der Poel was one of the riders away, and you said it was going to be a Deceuninck Quickstep winner. So yeah, just not the right one. So I think that's not bad.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this one. Although I did maybe hype Stefan Kung up a little bit too much. He finished in the 40s on the day, 2 minutes behind. Yves Lampaert as well, maybe not the chosen son on the day, but neither was Wout van Aert. And
yeah, well, we both watched it on the stream, and I don't think any of us expected Kasper Asgreen to win that. And yeah, what an imperious win by him, and it'll be interesting to see what he does next year. But yeah, so not quite as fruitful of a prediction as last year, unfortunately. Going from one Belgian monument to another, Liège-Bastogne-Liège.
Ewan, who do you think is going to be on the podium for this year's Liège-Bastogne-Liège?
I think it's going to be an attritional one, absolutely bullied by Ineos Grenadiers and Jumbo-Visma. And for that, I think Julian's going to be caught out. And we're going to have Richard Carapaz in third, a second place for Tadej Pogacar, and a win for Primož Roglic.
So anyways, I can't actually believe I'm the one who's actually going to be bringing the French flair to my predictions. It's normally you. I think Julian Philippe is going to be the first world champion since Moreno Argentin to win Liège-Bastogne-Liège. Second place, I think it's going to be Primož Roglic, a kind of redemption arc from last year's race. And then the final place on the podium is going to be Valverde for all time's sake.
Well, it seems none of us went for the obvious of Tadej Pogacar taking the win. I think I was going a bit more for the romance in having a world champion win Liège-Bastogne-Liège, and also the redemption story of him making up for what he did last year, Julian Philippe. Ewan, Rog, Pog, Carapaz. Like, it's not a bad... Well, what happened to Carapaz? He was disqualified.
he was disqualified. You can read about it on velonews.com, which actually cites our video on the topic. And yeah, the top 2, Roger's not the best race for him, whilst Pogacar, in the end, almost obviously won it. Second place, close enough, but you kind of predicted the Valverde comeback, which I think not many people were betting on.
I mean, he's like one of the most successful riders at Liège-Bastogne-Liège. He's the perfect rider for this kind of thing, but he is quite old now. So, but yeah, unfortunately, no cigar for either of us there.
No, so let's head over to the Corsa Rosa at the Giro d'Italia.
Ewan, I'll let you go first. What is your top 3 of the 2021 Giro d'Italia?
Well, this one was very difficult to do. I think this is the most wide open we've seen a Giro in a while. I've gone for Almeida in third place, purely because of experience over Evenepoel. Second place will go to Alexander Vlasov, and the winner will be Mikel Landa of the Basque Country and of Bahrain Victorious. Copy-paste whatever I said earlier and apply that to this. I think he is the man to win pink.
So I put your winner in third place, which looking back at it, I shouldn't have. Second place, I put Simon Yates to take his first podium at the Giro d'Italia. And then the winner, now I'm saying it, I probably regret doing this, but Egan Bernal is going to be the second Colombian to win a Giro d'Italia.
I think the big quote there is, I'm going to regret this, putting Egan Bernal as the winner. Yeah, I don't think I regret that at all. But yeah, Ewan, I think we both wanted a successful Mikel Landa. Fate had other ideas, and yeah, I think on paper your podium is probably one of the most competitive ones at the time. Vlasov, of course, doing well as well, and Joao Almeida, definitely think he could have been up there if it wasn't for a certain Belgian.
Yeah, well, my predictions seem to have aged like a bag of piss, as some would say, and it's. Yeah,
Landa. I don't think it's that bad. Well, okay, no, theoretically it's not that bad, but in reality, yeah, it's quite bad.
I mean, after Landa crash, I did say Caruso should be up there.
That is true. That is
for
true.
A podium or a top 5.
That is true. That should be like a bonus point for you.
Well, here we go. Insert Caruso quote. Whilst Damiano Caruso still finished in that front group, Caruso looked brilliant to Sestola. So Caruso could still be a wild card for a top 5. And I really do truly believe in that. Nevertheless, yeah, I mean, you got Yates pretty much correct. And bear in mind that Landa's teammate also finished in the podium. You pretty much got the teams nailed on. And not many people were really backing Burnout, honestly, with all their hearts.
Yeah,
there was the whole
that.
injury
Yeah,
question.
exactly. Moving on to bigger and better things.
None bigger than the biggest race on planet Earth, the Tour de France.
Who do you think is going to be the podium for this year's Tour de France?
Well, we've spoken so much about super teams in this episode, and I've done 3 super teams on the podium. Third place will be Geraint Thomas of Team Ineos Grenadiers. If he doesn't fall off, that's another thing I still think could happen. Geraint Thomas falls off and crashes. If not, it'll be someone else from that conveyor belt. Second place will be Primož Roglič of Jumbo-Visma, and the winner will be Tadej Pogačar of UAE Team Emirates. He just has the best kick out of all of them. He can time trial with the best. And he's got the reinforcements in the mountains this year to tee him up towards a second maillot jaune.
So anyways, I'm not completely going to copy your podium, but it's going to be very alike. I think the winner on this occasion is, of course, going to be Tadej Pogačar. Second place, we're going to have Geraint Thomas. And then we're going to have Julien Alaphilippe.
Well, let's dissect that one. We both said Pogačar. Pogačar won.
Yeah, I don't think that was too outlandish. I think most people had that on the cards. And after was it stage 7 where he just rode away from everyone as if they were standing still?
Yeah, he won the stage 5 time trial in Laval, then went on
to exactly a flat 2 minutes time trial.
Into Le Grand Bournon. It's like ding, 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 winner, chicken dinner.
You said as well his team was going to be stronger in the mountains. They were. So yeah, in terms of your Thomas prediction, that was fairly spot on in terms of he might be there, but if he falls off, he fell off. And then you also said someone similar for that conveyor belt. Richard Carapaz is from that conveyor belt. So in terms of Julien Philippe, I have no idea why I put him there. And Jonas Vingegaard finishing on the podium is just, that was absolutely amazing.
But we both had Roglic in second. So, I mean, substitute out one Jumbo-Visma rider for the other one. And we're pretty good. We're pretty spot on.
Yeah. Well, we can claim that if you will.
Exactly. Let's move on to the final Grand Tour of the year. La Vuelta a España.
So without further ado, Ewan, what is your 2021 podium for this year's Vuelta a España?
So I'm going to say that in third place will be the Olympic champion, Richard Carapaz. In second place will be Egan Bernal of Colombia, whilst the winner will be Primož Roglič, the new time trial Olympic champion.
So, of course, not to be too exact, I'm going to go for a bit of a different podium. Enric Mas is going to get his second podium finish in the Vuelta a España. Second is going to be the defending champion, Primož Roglič, even though I said earlier that I would like to see him win. And the winner of the 76th edition of the Vuelta a España is going to be Mikel Landa. We'll see how that goes. It didn't quite work in the Giro d'Italia.
Mikel Landa again. After all he did in the Giro d'Italia, you still went for Landa?
I mean, I'm a Landa fanboy, and so are you. So you put winner in the Giro. So
hashtag free Landa.
Not putting Roglic as the winner. You said it as well. You said this is the best Roglic you've seen in terms of the Vuelta dominance. But Enric Mas on the podium, not the correct place, of course. Carapaz and Bernal were a bit underwhelming, to say the least. Carapaz didn't finish the race. Egan Bernal, okay, he had a few close stages with Primož Roglic, but there was just no one touching him this year.
No one really came close. But Enric Mas rode a good race. I wouldn't have put him on the podium, but bravery sometimes works, doesn't it?
I mean, you really don't like Movistar. Whatever they do, you're just against them. Sorry, guys.
But Ewan, who is your podium for this, the 80th edition of the World Road Race?
This is very, very difficult. However, I'm going to say that third place goes to Matteo Trentin, second place goes to Wout van Aert, and first place goes to Mathieu van der Poel.
So my third place finisher is Matej Mohoric. Wout van Aert takes second place yet again for a second year in a row, in a fourth event in a row at the World Championships. And then Mikael Velgren takes the second title for Denmark at the World Championships. So yeah, what a surprise, me choosing a Dane at the Worlds again.
To be fair, Denmark did do well, didn't they?
Yeah, I'm just going to say the reason I picked Velgren was because he just won 2 races at end of the season. and it seemed like a course that could potentially suit him.
I mean, it's well known, well documented, the whole Wout van Aert and Remco thing, and now with Van der Poel being kind of played, we didn't really think about Julian Alaphilippe. Probably naively, we didn't think about Julien. Thought it was a little bit too cobble heavy for him, but he's won Brabantse-Pijl, he's won the cobble races as well. So yeah, and then Dylan van Baarle really was not on our radars to get a podium.
Yeah, that was very interesting. Of course, next year is going to be a completely different course in Australia.
Well, let's move over to Queen of the Classics, Paris-Roubaix.
Who is your podium for the 2021 edition?
Well, I'm going to create a fictional race scenario. We have someone up the road, and then there's a sprint behind within a small group of about 3-4 people. In that group of 3-4 people, the third place, the bronze medal in Paris-Roubaix, will go to Florian Sénéchal of France, the man from the north of France. He'll love the weather. He's very accustomed to it. He's a big engine. He's got good form. Second place will go to Jasper Stuyven of Trek Segafredo, who will win that sprint behind. However, up the road will be the former cyclocross world champion. No, not Wout van Aert. Zdeněk Štýbar. He will finally win Paris-Roubaix at, some would say, an old age, but I think he's aging like fine wine and he could be popping some champagne this weekend.
Yeah, I'm just going to go for a prediction now. I'm going to say it's going to be a bit different. No Mathieu van der Poel on my podium, unfortunately. No Danish winner. I think it's going to be Wout van Aert is going to take first place. Second place, we're going to have a kind of quick step rider in the form of Kasper Asgreen. And then third place, we're going to have Alexander Kristoff coming up the rear and taking a bunch sprint.
You know, some other regions of Europe can actually win races. It doesn't have to be Scandinavia.
Baba Booey.
However, I'm expecting big things from the young history student, just 22 years old, from Ghent. That is Florian Vermeijs. I am expecting a good performance from him, maybe a shock to some people. He's come off some good form with some top 20s at stages at La Vuelta a España and a 16th overall at Idri early this year. Not to forget his 4th at the Brussels Cycling Classic last year and 9th at the Binkbank Tour. So Florian Vermeijs could surprise people on the day.
None of our picks came on the podium. Like our podium picks.
You didn't you didn't follow your own advice.
We also didn't even pick up Combrelli, which is kind of naive now in hindsight because he was on such good form, but still.
It's still debutant at the Paris-Roubaix, and you look at all three of them were debutants. So it's like,
yeah,
how often does that happen? Okay, it was horrific conditions as well. No one said Moscon. I normally back Moscon, so just underwhelming, really.
And the kind of quick step what played out of it, I had two, you had Kasper Asgreen on the podium.
Yeah.
So they were not a fixture, really. The first time probably since I've been watching cycling that it's happened since like 2011-ish.
Moving swiftly on to the final one, Il Lombardia.
Third place goes to Tadej Pogačar. Second place goes to Julian Alaphilippe. And the win goes to Primož Roglič. Surprise. There we go.
Okay, just so we're a bit different, I'll say the win goes to Gianni Moscon, Remco Evenepoel second, and Miguel Landa third.
You know what's surprising? Gianni Moscon's never taken a World Tour win. So there's always a time to start. This could be that time. Well, once again, we didn't pick Pogačar as the winner, but this podium was a little bit rogue, with Fausto Masnada in second, the Eel, and in third place we had Adam Yates, which I don't think we really had on our radars at all.
Yeah, true. And it was such a weird race. And Pogačar just rode away from everyone, and Fausto Masnada just had the best ride in the whole race. I don't know why I picked Gianni Moscon. Remco Evenepoel, that was more of a, romantic arc in the way, coming back and doing well at the race. And Miguel Landa, so I'm never going to predict him again for a podium. Yeah, in hindsight, Tadej Pogačar, why? Why did we not predict him?
Anyways, I believe that is everything. So don't forget to comment down below what was your big prediction of the year? What was your big blunder of the year, maybe? And we will look forward to reading those later on. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and we will see you around.